Peace, Chakra. How you doing? Just give me a minute. I'm still trying to set up. Oh, got a little stuff going on here. Lily, how you doing? How you doing, sis? Thank you for coming. Well, as I know y'all can see, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. Whoever's gonna come in will come in. Thank you for coming. Everybody in the bushes, thank y'all for coming. Yeah, my title today is The Divine Feminine, the Final Boss. And yes, if you see me looking down, I am looking at my notes as usual to keep myself on track. Okay. So I guess we just gonna go ahead and get started here. I guess whoever's gonna come is gonna come. Whoever this message is meant for, it will get to. So basically, I just wanted to start by speaking about some, again, recent events that have been happening here on YouTube. Three people in particular, I don't mention names. So they have nicknames, right? They have nicknames. So their nicknames are Peg Boy. Everybody know who I call Peg Boy, okay? So the other two you have to try to figure out. All right. Hey, Scissor, how you doing? Um, Peg Boy. And then there's somebody new that's added, his little brother, Peg Leg Sherm. Okay. So y'all may have to do a little investigating to figure out who Peg Leg Sherm is. The last part on Sherm. All right, hey Jordan, how you doing? Thank you for coming. The last person is Mr. Earth. Okay, Mr. Earth. All right. So basically, I want to talk about the obsession of certain male YouTube content creators that their obsession to defeat the female bosses of YouTube. Because we have several males on here, not just the three that I'm talking about, that consistently want to go against the females here on YouTube that are really moving and shaking things, and they have a jealousy, and I find it really odd that they choose to go after these females, but when they're confronted with a male, they may put up a little bit of bark, but they tend to back down. Okay. Now, as I said, we're going to be talking to, the people I have in mind are Peg Boy, excuse me, Peg Boy, his little brother Peg Leg Sherm, and Mr. Earth. These three dudes have been not only going at the females, but they have now turned on each other. Okay, it would seem that they will get it together to go after their person, which is their want to do sometimes. But they are not only fighting against these females, but they're going against each other. Interesting. Okay. So, the one thing that I noticed that these three dudes have in mind, as you would probably wonder, I mean, most people know what Peg Boy is, but the three things that they have the one thing that all three of them have in common, and let me get this right, because when it came to me, it cracked me up, but I had to write it down. All right. All three of them specialize in projection, deflection, and the possible injection of another man's midsection. Now, think about that. Think about that. Think about the way I put that, and then you know what I'm talking about. All right? I'm going to repeat that. They specialize in projection, deflection, and possible injection in another man's midsection, which I wonder what's going on with these brothers. Why do they keep inviting other men to their bodies? That's not the sign of a heterosexual man. But they all claim to be heterosexual. Now, one of them, I won't say that it's fact because I do not have any facts on it, but it has been said that he has a history of being a peg boy for real. For real, for real. Okay? I know y'all wondering how this all feeds into the divine feminine being the final boss, but we're going to get to that. All right? So let's jump into it. I have figured out through all of this, and the reason why these men, these certain men, not all of them here on YouTube, but these certain men are going after these female bosses here on YouTube, is that they have feminine divine envy. They want to be these females. They want the success. They want the notoriety. They want the love. Hell, they want the sisterhood. And the fact that they cannot have it, they want to destroy it. Okay? Kurt, thank you for showing up. Glad to have you. So, like I said, they have divine feminine envy. They want to be these females. They want what these females have. And since they can't have it, they want to destroy it. You know, that y'all heard it before. If I can't have it, can't nobody have it. That's what they're going through right now. Okay? So let's dig into this. I have figured out that they have this they really are into they and the people that follow them are really into this cliquish type thing. This group mentality, very childish, which means they haven't arrested, the development is arrested. They stopped somewhere along the way. They didn't mature to that point where they can be autonomous and individual people, individual thinking people. They have to have a group. That's why they tend to gang up, you know, have these backroom meetings, or we're going to get together and go after this one and go after that one, try to defame the females. You know, it's not good enough that whatever point that you started from, you progressed and made yourself better. We're just going to harp on what you did before. For whatever reason you did what you did, we're going to harp on what you did then. You know, we're not going to think about the accomplishments and where you brought it to. Okay? We're not going to do that. For the simple fact that we're sitting in one space and our minds haven't developed enough to figure out how to get my success. Or if I know how to get that success, I don't want to do the work to get it. I just want it to be handed to me. Okay? So I figured that much out about it. They have something going on up here that ain't connecting right. You know, there's a short circuit. And we all know that you need a full circuit for that ish to work. Okay? So I figured out why they get so many followers, because those are people that are doing just the same thing they do in their real life. They're sitting there and they're wanting to be part of a clique. They want to be part of the group. So they get in there with that same mentality, and it's all laughs and giggles and emojis. You know, now there are some that sit there and watch the show for the ridiculousness of it. But then a lot of them are joining in with this and are willing to do these people's dirty work so they can be part of the clique, part of the group, even receive that fictional little tool you got, a wrench, which seems to mean so much to people, something that you can't hold in your hand. You can't use it except to get on here and shut somebody up so you can continue to listen to the fuckery. Okay? So, you know, when I look at their thought process and the things they're doing, it really brings something to mind, that these people have a slave mindset. They have a real slave mindset. I have to be a part of the group. When we're in this chat, all we want to do is talk about sex, what you'll do to a woman, what I'll do to a man, or what I'll let a man do to me, or what I'll let a woman do to me. If you go back and think about the names that I gave them, which is Peg Boy and Peg Leg, you know, what did they do to our men back in slavery? You know, they were butt breaking. You know, like the term motherfucker, y'all ever wonder where that term came from? When they would throw a sack over your head and make you fuck your mother or your sister or whatever else. We were used as breeding cattle. Okay? They have that type of mindset. So now all you want to do is talk about sex. All you want to talk about is what you can get. And you don't realize that's what's keeping you where you are. You know, as a people of color, our spending power is phenomenal, but we are not using it to our best advantage. We're living in the slums, but we got the most expensive car. You got a mouthful of gold, hands and necks full of gold, but where is that going to get you? So you're making this money from these people and you're turning around and you're handing it back. So that keeps you in that cycle. That's a slave mentality, people. Okay? But these particular people can't break out of it, because I watched a live this morning where they were on there and there was a female involved, and they were sitting there talking about, oh, when you come to our hood, what hood you own? Do you own where you stay? Do you own that block? So how you gonna claim it? Oh, hand it to them. Oh, when you come here, I'm gonna put my hands on you. Let them come to us. They can't handle us, this, that, and the other. And then one of them never caring up to show their face, because the image that they give of themselves is not truly what exists. When they did cam up, they did what? Spread money out on the table, talking about how much money they got. Then you want to talk about how it's ill-gotten gains, dirty money to be exact. Again, slave mentality. Because if I got a mentality to move upwards and outwards, I don't have to show my money to be important. If I got it, I got it. I'm going to use it to raise me and my people up, to bring something back to the community. But all we're talking about is bitches, hoes, and money. Same thing they do in this rap, to program your mind, to keep you from seeing the reality. All right? So my thoughts about this is, they have no idea how to achieve the accomplishments of these women. As I said before, they will seek to destroy it. They don't know how to get it. They have no idea. So my thoughts on it is, I was taught that there were 7 steps to manifest what you want. They have no idea of these steps. None whatsoever. If they searched on YouTube as much as they sit on here and beef with each other, they can find it. The video's out there. The person that taught it is in their midst every day. So what I'm going to do as my give back to my people, I'm going to go over these in my own words. So please understand that these are not exactly as they were given to me. They're in my own words. I'm going to break it down, because when I talked to one of my sisters earlier, she gave it to me in a different perspective, in a yoga perspective. Okay. So one of these terms, or basically all of these terms, will be put under transformation. That's putting everything under a wide umbrella. But I told her, I said, some people would be able to grasp that. Not saying that anybody that comes in my chat wouldn't be able to grasp it, but just for the sake of argument, I'm going to break it down into steps. Okay? Now, the first step, as it was brought to me, in manifesting what you want, is dreaming. Now, I'm going to read from a note, y'all, because y'all know my brain, it slips off some. I'm getting up there. All right? The first step is dreaming. Dreaming and waking are somewhat the same. The dreaming state is when you're reaching for God. You start to trust your intuition, your imagination, and your idea. Basically, what that is figuring out what the hell it is you want. Dream big. Start believing in that dream, right? All right. Now, when you have that dream and you're trying to achieve it, you're starting to realize what that is, there's a second step that comes in, because you can't, where you are right now is not where you're dreaming of being. And sometimes to get where you want to go or have what you want to have, you have to break down what's already there. It's just like having an old building that's dilapidated. You want a new house and everything, but you can't make that old house into that new house. What you have to do, level it, destroy it. Just clear the land and start over fresh. That's where the second step comes in. Destruction. Okay? When you get to the step of destruction, it's a place where you have to choose. It's a disruption in your thinking. So you have to change your thought pattern. That means come out of all that bull crap that you was doing, that hood and slave mentality, and change it, right? All right. It's a reality shift. Destroying the construct, your way of thinking, changing a way of thought, and unlearning, using your own perceptions versus what was given to you, right? So that means that slave mentality, that slave mind thought, that wasn't what we originally were. That was something that was given to our ancestors and them giving it to us, because at one point in time, we had to have that mindset just to survive, right? They had to have that to survive. We don't have to have that to survive anymore. We can change it. So you have to break that down. You have to destroy that. You have to change that mindset, right? Now, once you get to the point where you can start changing that mindset consistently, because you have to do it step by step, little by little. You're not just going to change that overnight. You come to your third step once you destroyed that mindset. That's when you start to rebuild. Reconstruction, right? That's the third step. Reconstruction. Reconstruction consists of creating your own reality. Okay? That means making things the way you want it to be. When you decide to be the one who will change the current reality. So what's currently there, you're changing it into what you want it to be. You're giving a new meaning to humanity and how you fit into it. That's that third step. Now, once you start making that change, when you start building things the way you think they should be, building your world, so to speak, your own reality, comes the fourth step. The fourth step is self-knowledge. Self-knowledge. That's when the oracle shows up. All right? That's when you're uniquely defined by yourself. Okay? You're uniquely defined by yourself. It is the beginning of knowing love of self. It is the beginning of knowing yourself in general. Okay? When you get that self-knowledge, that means you're knowing who you are, who you made you to be, not what somebody else made you to be. Okay? Now, you would think that you all good at this point. When you get to that, you think you own your way. Self-knowledge, I'm good, I'm rolling strong, can't nothing stop me. Wrong. You have step number 5. Step number 5 is when one of them big bosses step in. A boss that I have to fight daily. A boss that I had to fight before even turning this camera on. A boss I've been fighting all day. Doubt. Right? Doubt. Doubt. Fear and disbelief. Where you have to choose between freedom and slavery. Freedom is that hard truth. Freedom is making those hard choices, going against the grain, stepping out on your own, whether anybody is there to hold your hand or not, facing the world, whether anybody's there to back you up. Standing your ground, or like I like to say, standing on your square. That's what freedom is. Okay? When you have to make that slavery choice, that slavery choice is a choice of ease, believing the lie, continuing the lie, the matrix. It's when I just go along with what's already here. Everybody else is doing this. Everybody else is acting like this. I'm just going to slip into it and just ride the wave because I don't have to make those hard decisions. I don't have to deal with ridicule. I don't have to deal with people coming up against me because the way I'm thinking, the way I'm living, the way I believe in. That's hard. It sounds easy, but that's real hard because you're going to lose some people. You're going to lose some people who you thought had your back. They will walk away from you because they don't want that kind of attention. Because people will look at you. Most people don't understand. I have a problem with public speaking. I have a problem being on this camera because I'm one of those people that always resided in the shadows. Don't look at me. What you looking at me for? Stop looking at me. Makes you nervous. But I made that choice. I made that choice about 3 or 4 years ago. And once you make that choice, if you really want it, like my son says, you gotta want it, ain't no turning back. So you have to make that choice between freedom and slavery. Now, I'm going to stop right there. When you choose to go into that slavery and slip into it, but you still want what these other people fought hard to do, they chose freedom, that's where things get real slippery. Okay? That's where the conflict comes in. That's why they want to destroy the feminine, the divine feminine. They want to destroy these women because I got this fear and doubt. Why can't you just sit down? Why can't you just humble yourself? Why can't you just go along with the lie and we'll all be good? Because then I don't have to face the fact of looking at you actually doing more and being better than I am right now. That's where that comes in. Now, once you get past that doubt and you make that choice for freedom, you come into step 6, belief. Belief is characterized by the resurrection, standing your ground when you declare who you are. It is your rebirth. It is when you birth yourself into your name. Because a lot of us have changed our given names, the names that were given to us, and we gave ourselves a name. I did the same thing about 3 years ago. I have a given name that I kept for no other reason than my mother gave it to me. I never felt like I fit into that name. There were too many other people with that name, and it didn't mean anything to me. So I gave myself a name, which is why I am known in real life as well as in social media as Indigo Blues. Indigo Blues is my freedom. That's the name I chose for myself. Number 6 is where you start believing in who you are, right? Number 7 is the final step. Once you start believing and accepting who you are and embracing that, number 7 step is love. It allows you to see the purity of life. Because of love, you can bend reality at will. Okay? That's when you reach God status. It's when you can bend your reality and the reality around you at will. Because you have gone through all 7 steps. Some of these steps may be instantaneously. Some of them may happen over a period of years. Okay? Sometimes you may have to go back and repeat some of these steps because you lost it during the way through. Now, when it comes to these people that I'm talking about, and I've given you these 7 steps so you can understand where I'm going with this. They already hit step 1. Okay? They hit step 1. Step 1 was dreaming, correct? They dreamed about what they want to be. They know what they want. They want the notoriety. They want the success. They want the money. They want the clicks and the views. They want the followers. They've already figured that out. Their mistake was they skipped steps 2, 3, and 4 and skipped all the way over to 5, which is doubt. You know, where I told you the fear and belief where they have to make that choice between freedom and slavery. They stuck at 5. These fools chose slavery because it was easier. I want all the success that you get by going through these 7 steps. I want what you got, but I don't want to do the work to get there. That's why they stuck. They stuck in a sandbox. We're talking about 30 to 40-year-old people who are sitting on social media, and we've already discussed in a prior video, my video that I made yesterday, we talked about this. You know, they're stuck in this sandbox. They can't get past it. I want to sit here at 30 and 40 years old and click up like I'm a teenager in high school. I want to talk about somebody knowing damn well I admire that person, but I can't admit that I admire that person because that would be admitting that they're better than me. I don't want to work for what you got. I want you to hand it to me because I am me. And I feel that I'm better than you for no other reason than I am me. Narcissism. It plays into it. Never thinking about that journey that you have to take and how much better that you're going to feel on the end of it. How much you're going to be accomplished on the end of it. But I would venture to say that this journey, this 7-step journey that you have to go on, you can't do that just for the people looking at you. It's not for the crowd. It's not for the masses. This is for yourself. And I have to say, if nobody else notices what you're doing, the only person that it counts to is you. It's self-love, something that I talk to people about daily, loving yourself. These steps help you love and learn yourself, which these 3 people have not been able to do as of earlier today, about what, around 2, 3 o'clock? Today, they still ain't learned. In 30 to 40 years, they have not learned to love themselves enough to have any kind of morals to stand on to get where they need to go. They just want somebody to hand it to them. And as a result of them not being able to love themselves, they can't love nobody else either. So anybody that comes into their realm is subject to being degraded mentally and physically, mentally, emotionally, and possibly physically abused, because that's what they were talking about today. Somebody roll up. That's something I hear in 15 and 16-year-olds. I hear that in somebody in their early 20s. You're not supposed to be in your 30s and 40s. Talking about, yeah, roll up. I'm going to show up with my 4-5. Show up with your 4-5. You know, I agree that in this time that we living in, everybody should be armed and trained to do that, to protect themselves and their family. But that's not what you need to be talking about doing just because of what you don't like, the fact that this person is making money. This person has built their business from the ground up by themselves, and they're making it work. And sometimes, well, most of the time, as with me, I have several businesses. I got one employee, me. I am the CEO, the CFO, I am the janitor, I am the manufacturing crew. Okay, I'm all of that. I'm HR. I'm all of that. So you mad because I took enough love for myself to build my shit up and you want to tear it down. You want to slander my name in the streets when there is proof out there for at least one of them, no, two of them, that you are not who you claim to be. You ain't got what you say you got, but you mad at me because I can prove what I got. Where they do that at? Where the real men at? I know they out there. Where the real men at? Because you ain't no real man if you got to take a woman down to feel good. You won't go toe to toe with a real man when they approach you. Oh, you want to cow down. Brother, you got more estrogen than I do. Okay? And the sad part about it is these three brothers is going out here and they getting their ass waxed by these women, these bosses on YouTube daily, multiple times a day. They getting their ass waxed because you ain't got it. You ain't figured out the formula yet. So I'm hoping, matter of fact, I'll even offer a happy suggestion that you get past the point that I was talking about you, that I gave you a new nickname, that I say that all three of you at some point in time have been the best employee that I've never had by promoting me, by putting my name out there so people can hear what I have to say. That you take the time to listen to the part where I gave you those 7 steps so you too can have what we have. So you too can step out of that slave mentality that you got going on up there. Because that's what it is. And the worst thing about it is y'all stepping into it willingly. Our ancestors didn't step into that willingly. They were not willing pig boys. They didn't willingly step up and say, I want to be, I want you to buck break me in front of my son and my wife and my children. They didn't willingly say that. Y'all are willingly going out here and you are breaking yourselves down. Now that's true stupidity. It would seem that you want something better for yourself. And I know at least a couple of these claim to have children. That's what you're showing them? You perpetuating that mindset? That's intelligent. How'd you get so smart? I just want to break this down to y'all. For those who are listening, for those who would have it in their mind to change, understand these 7 steps. Don't participate in the ignorance. Ignorance is contagious, like a virus. You listen to it long enough, it implants itself in your subconscious. And it's real hard to get shit out of your subconscious. Your eyes are the window to the soul. What you see implants itself, right? And your subconscious doesn't know, it doesn't have any limitation and gates. It just draws it all in. So watch what you're watching. Be careful of what you're listening to. All right? I just wanted to bring this short video to y'all today and just bring attention to what's going on here on YouTube, these YouTube streets. Because I know Peg Boy, he been going live all day. He'll say something and then claim that somebody else is lying on him when there's proof that he said it. Peg Leg Sherm, oh, he always on. Morning, noon, and night. He can't sleep. Some of y'all don't know what Sherm is. I do. It's embalming fluid. He's the epitome of dead men walking. They embalm people, dead people with embalming fluid, right? I've heard of a situation called being stuck. It was just described to me what being stuck is. Being on SHRM means when your mind is working, but your body ain't. Embalming fluid keeps the body fresh or stiff or something like that, right? So that means that your body can't move, but your brain is still moving. Isn't that the equivalent of the living dead? We already have zombies among us, y'all. Their leader is Peg Leg Sherm. All right? And I know y'all know who Mr. Earth is. I wanted to call him Gaia, but he wouldn't. It was too pretty a name to give his ugly ass. All right. So, with that being said, y'all, I'm going to get out of here with the same thing that I tell everybody. Self-love is key. Learn to love and embrace yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Love yourself. Because if you can't love nobody else. And can't nobody love you because you haven't shown them how. People love you according to how they see you love and respect yourselves. All right? I'm out of here, y'all. Peace and love. Thank you for coming. Oh, if you can, do me the biggest favor. I'm asking this of all my people. Please visit my website. I got a new website up. I'm putting new items on every day. I've been working at it all day. I've been working at it all night. I'm at www.House Indigo Blues. If you don't have time enough to scroll through the site, it's okay. Just hit the site and visit it. I need those numbers, y'all. I'm trying to build something here. Okay, House Indigo Blues is going to encompass all my businesses. Right now, I have Pastries by Patrice, that's soon to be Indigo Treats. I have my reclamation thing that I'm doing with jewelry, well, not jewelry, but furniture, where I take reclaimed furniture and give it life again. I'll be doing tarot readings. By the way, if you want to have a tarot reading with me, feel free to contact me in the messaging at House Indigo Blues, or you can reach me at Blues Indigo 70 at Gmail. I do take private readings. I'll be doing lots of stuff, y'all. So hit my website, check it out. Just give me that traffic. I'd love to see you roll through. If this message has touched you, you want to help support this channel, I graciously appreciate any kind of support that you give me. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. My Cash App is $Blues Indigo. I'm going to get out of here, y'all, because I got some more work to do on that website. I love y'all. Peace, love. I'm out, y'all.